Mars, as seen from Earth, our best view from here. This is a live shot from Hubble 3. Somewhere in that picture, there in the blackness of space, plunging toward this strange other world, is the most complicated machine ever made. Riding that machine, 7 human beings who are farther away from home than anyone has ever been. And in a little less than 2 hours, they'll be part of history. From GNN, a special report.
July 14, 2005, today. Take a look around you, at the people you're with, where you are, what the weather is like, because you're always going to remember it. July 14th, 2005, humans set foot on Mars for the very first time. And in this special report, GNN Live, the journey to Mars, you'll see it as no single human can, not even those aboard the spaceship Destiny. I'm Tamara O'Neill, and this is Nick Van Pelt.
And this is GNN Central. From here, you and I will be able to participate in the historic landing.
And from space, we'll hear and see all the action from Destiny with GNN science correspondent Ryan West on board. In the same spirit of unprecedented cooperation that has guided the Destiny mission, we at GNN have joined with NASA to combine our communication technologies to bring you this historic event live. And Nick, we even have our own GNN satellite cam tailing Destiny in close orbit.
That's right, Tamara. From this satellite, we'll be able to watch from outside the spaceship as the landing takes place.
On the screen now, you can see just how many viewers like yourself around the globe are watching GNN's live coverage. The raw numbers? An astounding 2.9 billion and climbing. Over half the population of the planet Earth tuned in to watch humankind's first steps on another planet.
At various times during our coverage, we'll be inviting you to give us your opinion on the progress of the mission as it nears the Red Planet. A question will appear on the screen. The number of respondents around the globe will then appear, followed by the percentages of approval and disapproval. We want to hear your voices as we experience history together. We've got it all. Total coverage, total experience.
So let's get going with an update as of 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 36 seconds EMT. Estimated Mars touchdown. From the flight deck of the spaceship Destiny, GNN's Ryan West.
Hello, Tamara. Nick? Well, it's day 0. After 7 months and 126 million miles, we're nearing our goal. Less than 2 hours until touchdown on the surface of Mars. And I can tell you heart rates are high aboard ship here. It's been a smooth journey so far, thanks to Healy's induced momentum fields, which have created artificial gravity, allowing us to live and work in an Earth-like atmosphere. Those of you that have been following GNN's exclusive coverage of the mission will be old friends of the Destiny crew by now. On the flight deck, Captain Eugene Slader, mission commander, and to his right, Lieutenant Tanya Sadavoy, second in command. And of course, the rest of Destiny crew. Isio Huro, you, Downing, Lobel, experts in fields from micro-farming to zero-gravity welding, but people just the same. And in our special report, you'll learn more about them, their lives, their dreams, the people behind the soon-to-be historic names.
This is a good time to remind our viewers that the images we're seeing aboard Destiny are being digitally transmitted by over 100 tiny lipstick cameras.
And a select auto.
Select
Eugene,
auto.
Tanya, let's get a status update. How's it going, compadres?
All systems are functioning nominally.
That's what I like to hear. And now for the folks back on Earth, how about a quick update of what's upcoming?
Separation from the transfer stage, deorbital burn, Doppler radar assisted approach, touchdown.
Hell, you make a very complicated technical achievement sound so simple. Lieutenant Sadavoy, how do you feel?
Feel.
What are your feelings? We're almost there.
We will have feelings after we touch down. Right now, we have other priorities. We are about to separate from the main transfer stage and begin our descent.
The transfer stage, the support system for Destiny, is actually almost 5 times as large as Destiny itself. What looks like a long floating shoelace is actually a tether with a camera attached to its end, giving us these great pictures. Well, we've been in Martian orbit for just over 36 hours, and I must say that even an old space correspondent like me gets excited at moments like these. Starting out as a reporter for a little station in the San Fernando Valley, I certainly expected big things, but this, well...
Ryan, what's going on behind you?
Everything all right, Tanya?
Everything on track.
Eugene?
Yeah, no problem. We're heading right down the chute.
Captain Slader, Tamara O'Neill, GNN. You seem to be experiencing some discomfort a moment ago. Is there a problem?
Good evening, Tamara. Everything's A-OK. We're pretty busy up here right now, so forgive me if I can't chat.
I understand, Captain. Good luck.
Roger that.
What's your next move? Back to you, Tamara.
GNN will continue to show you the Destiny descent, but we go now live to Houston and GNN correspondent Vicki Dittbenner.
We're here at NASA Mission Control, where members of the Native Earth Alliance, NEA, are staging a frankly quite noisy demonstration. Now with me is NEA Chairman Eric Altman. Mr. Altman, what's the problem?
The problem is we have problems right here on Earth. We don't need to be throwing hundreds of billions of dollars out into space just to indulge the arrogance of our leaders. We are here to protest waste, government grandstanding, corporate exploitation. NEA supports the right of the people to control their environment, to say no to outrageously expensive enterprises which benefit only the corporate few, such as XI Urban Industries. We know what they're going to get out of this.
Excuse me, Mr. Altman. We here at GNN like to listen to the voices of our viewers at times like these. Let's see what our audience thinks. Is the Destiny mission to Mars a positive step in the right direction? With nearly 1 billion GNN viewers responding, I'm afraid the people don't agree with you, Mr. Altman.
That's ridiculous. What is a positive step? You've asked a vague, misleading question in order to get the answer GNN wants to get. You're manipulating.
Mr. Altman, excuse me. We now go live to Mars orbit to a shot from a camera mounted on the main transfer stage. This is just a remarkable sight. There we can see the Destiny landing module separating from the main transfer stage. The protective radiation shields jettisoned now from the landing module as it begins its descent to the surface of Mars. The transfer stage, of course, will remain in Mars orbit to re-rendezvous with the Destiny module for its return to Earth some 18 months from now.
Tamara's separation from the support system went well. Only a slight bump, and the descent is right on schedule, but we do have a problem. My communicator is plugged directly into the system's monitoring feed. Can we show that display, please? If you'll notice here, the 0. These numbers indicate Destiny's 3 radars. They give the pilots critical navigational fixes. The 0 means a problem. No information from one of the radars.
How serious is it?
Well, without full functioning, a safe landing would be impossible.
Can it be fixed?
Let me ask. Dr. Isio Horo is in charge of Destiny's computers, the most intricate ever built. Without them, the mission would be impossible. Dr. Isio Horo, have we got a problem?
A glitch.
How serious?
Not serious at all, if I can locate it.
Can you?
Given enough time.
Are we talking minutes, hours?
Days would be good. What we have is minutes.
Excuse me, Ryan. I'm being told... What? All right, I'll pass that along. But right now, from Houston, we're hearing some sort of problem.
While we wait for Ryan to find out just what that problem is, we should recall that heroism has always been a prerequisite for a mission such as Destiny's. Bravery is just part of the job description.
Tamara, we're switching immediately to Destiny.
Dang. You doing okay?
Ryan, can you hear me?
I'm here, and things seem to be happening rather quickly.
Captain Slader seems to be in some kind of pain. Can you help us out with this?
He is indeed in some pain, but we're not sure exactly what the problem is.
Ryan? Ryan West? We appear to be having some technical difficulties with our feed. We'll be returning live to Destiny in a moment, and GNN's special report, Journey to Mars, will return right after this break. We're back with GNN's live coverage of the Destiny landing on Mars. We remind you that although the mission is on schedule, the crew has reported a slight navigational problem, and Captain Slader has been experiencing some difficulty.
We're going immediately to Destiny and Ryan West for more on the potential problems aboard.
The crew has asked me to temporarily leave the flight deck while they resolve the computer glitch. This is the medical center. And this is Flight Surgeon Lin Yo-Yu, our onboard doctor. Dr. Yu, is there a problem with Captain Slader?
Yes, I'm headed to the flight deck now to consult with him.
He seems to be in some sort of pain.
That's what he's been reporting.
Any cause for alarm?
We're just being cautious. We take all reports of symptoms seriously, no matter how small. Excuse me.
Like the rest of Destiny, the medical center will be a part of the first colony on the surface of Mars. The flight deck will become the headquarters for a command and communication center for the habitat. Everything about Destiny is designed for maximum efficiency.
Thank you, Ryan. While we wait for some word on Captain Slader, we'd like to bring in two men whose commitment and tenacity have helped make the Destiny mission a reality. From Washington, D.C., Dean Rumpelmeyer, CEO of Intergalactic Resource Corporation, and from Mission Control in Houston, Dr. Scott Berlin, head of NASA. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Tim.
Scotty, Destiny is in some ways your child. You conceived it, and it was your engineering discoveries that made it possible. What was the driving force all these years?
Well, Tamara, the word vision comes to mind. The vision that man has always had of himself and of the universe he inhabits. It's a vision for constantly expanding our knowledge.
Well, that knowledge is a large part of the reason we've asked you to join us on GNN. Probably no one knows more about the Destiny mission than you.
Excuse me, Tamara, these are some great shots we're seeing here. Those small steering rockets are firing intermittently and lining Destiny up on its target axis.
Gentlemen, Van Pelt here. Dean Rumpelmeyer, same question to you. Why your commitment to Destiny?
Well, I'm afraid my answer is going to be a little more down to earth, if you will. IRC is a company dedicated to enhancing the well-being of each and every one of us. Like Scotty, we have a vision of people living better, healthier lives, and we go to great lengths to develop the resources to support that life.
But in fact, your company lost out in its competition for the Destiny contracts to Xi-Arvin Corporation.
True, but IRC is interested in the future and in healthy competition. Xi-Arvin should be congratulated for their participation. But we at IRC are thinking long term. We'd like to be going to Mars right now, but we'll be right in there competing for mineral rights.
Obviously, the economic potential of something like this is staggering. Billions, if not trillions of dollars are at stake. But apparently, not everybody shares Mr. Rumpelmeyer's enthusiasm about the Destiny mission. Standing by in front of NASA Mission Control in Houston is Eric Altman, NEA spokesperson.
Mr. Altman, you've been listening and watching. What do you think?
What this mission has become is political, a distraction from our real problems. President Richardson knows her presidency is in trouble. She's gambling, knowing that if Destiny fails, so does she. The government will be destabilized by this all the eggs in one basket publicity stunt.
Excuse me, Mr. Altman, please, let's not accuse.
Oh, please. President Richardson knows full well this whole thing could be done with robotics, much more safely. But science isn't the point, is it? Drama is. She knows people will only pay attention if human lives are at risk.
I am deeply offended by this.
Nick, gentlemen, we're going back for more on board Destiny. Ryan, can you give us an update?
Our navigation problem continues. Dr. Yu, is there a serious problem with Captain Slader?
He is experiencing increasingly frequent muscle pain and nerve spasms.
Which means?
If the severity increases, his ability to conduct his responsibilities would become more difficult.
What's happening to him?
I'm not sure. His biosigns show no underlying abnormality. He's in excellent condition except for these symptoms. I'm running a blood analysis now.
Since Captain Slader is the key man on this mission, let's get to know him in the first of our special segments, Living Up to Destiny.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
Born February 20th, 1962, the day astronaut John Glenn lifted off on his historic journey into space, Eugene T. Slader has lived the American dream. Graduating at the top of his class at the Naval Academy, he became a member of the elite U.S. Navy SEALs, earning a reputation as a fearless, hard-nosed officer.
There's a saying the SEALs live by, which is, your only easy day was yesterday, which pretty well describes my time as a SEAL. I was part of an advanced training program that was designed to test a person's endurance under extreme conditions. I have to say, I was pushed to limits I never would have thought I could endure.
Slader's reputation attracted scientists at NASA who were selecting a crew suited to the rigors of interplanetary travel. In 2001, Slader, age 39, made history, logging more hours in space than anyone alive.
An awful lot of people have asked me, didn't I get bored being all alone like that for 488 days? And the answer is yes, I did. But it was really the strength of my family that kept me focused.
Far away from the roar of rocket boosters, Eugene T. Slader relaxes at his home in Telluride, Colorado. As captain of the Destiny mission, many call him the last American hero.
I love it up here. I'm up here every chance I get. As soon as I'm cut loose, this is where I go. This is where I can clear my head, be with my family, and be outdoors and do the things I like to do. Skiing, hiking. It gives me the energy to go back and do my job as well as I can do.
Along with his wife Maria and his two children, Jason and Katie, Eugene Slader cherishes his private time with his family.
Well, it's certainly going to be difficult to be away from my family for such a long period of time. But they understand. I'm going to Mars to secure a better future for my children. It's an honor to serve my country, and it's a privilege to lead such a talented crew. I think I speak for all of them when I say that Mars is our destiny.
Still no read from Altitude Radar 3 showing on my screen. Status is Yahoro.
We've got a corrupted string. Command sequences are decayed.
Hard or soft source?
Soft.
Can we get the radar?
The bug won't let it deploy. It's keeping the beam port closed.
Time to resolution.
No current estimate.
Well, let's try and get it working before we punch a hole in the planet. We'll go with inertial coordinates, ballpark the altitude.
We can't land with ballpark numbers.
Let's update the IMU alignment with another star tracker reading. Roll right 31 degrees.
Scotty Berlin, you're the expert. Could you help us out with what's going on?
Well, they're continuing the landing approach, but without enough information to keep us happy. Captain Slader's relying on his past experience to adjust the course until they fix the radar problem.
Captain.
Right roll jet burn, 2.13 seconds on my mark. Mark.
We've passed periop 0.
Periop 0, Dr. Berlin?
They've slowed Destiny. Martian gravity has become stronger than their orbital speed. So, in essence, the next orbit will meet the surface.
You mean they'll either land or...
They'll make it.
Stay with us as we accompany the Destiny crew in their descent towards the unknown.
For those of you who are just joining us, a brief recap. The spacecraft Destiny is now on its descent to the Martian surface. It is experiencing a radar problem, apparently related to a computer malfunction. The onboard computer, one of the most complex ever built, is not allowing the radar beam port to open. This could make the final stages of navigating the landing more difficult.
I know that they're working on the problem right now, and hopefully it will be solved very soon. Also, as you know, Captain Slader has been experiencing some physical discomfort. We don't know what the cause is, but certainly we'll be following any developments very closely.
Word is coming through that President Elizabeth Richardson will be joining us in a few seconds. It was just 3 years ago that during her campaign for re-election, the president, in her words, committed America's hearts and energies to the greatest of all adventures, the Destiny mission to Mars. We join her live in the White House via GNN's Triad link. Hello, Madam President.
Good evening, Tamara. How are you?
Frankly, I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited too, and pleased that a program that we committed to in my first term seems close to success in my second. I'm just glued to the set.
President Richardson, can you give us any further details about the technical difficulties the Destiny is experiencing?
I don't know any more than you do, Tamara, but I will say this, that the crew of Destiny is made up of some of the finest, most accomplished men and women this planet has to offer. I feel confident that they can solve whatever problem confronts them.
Madam President,
Nick Van Pelt here.
Very few programs have had the ongoing support you've given Destiny. You're always saying some things are negotiable, some things aren't. Why do you feel that the Destiny program isn't negotiable?
The Destiny mission is a matter of principle with me. It is the soul, the heart, the will of democracy. Of course, there are many points of view, but can these points of view be sharpened and focused for great achievement? I believe they can. I have geared my presidency on this. My leadership is founded on the faith that many can come together around a single noble purpose.
Madam President, Hold on.
The Native Earth Alliance has accessed this broadcast in order to inform the people that due to the criminal decision by President Richardson and her allies to proceed with the infection of the Martian environment with the same disease of pollution which threatens life here on Earth, we have been forced to take action. NEA demands that President Richardson order Destiny to abort its mission. Following that
Ladies
decision,
and gentlemen, we have been
NEA
interrupted by an
demands on behalf of the
unlawful
children of the
transmission.
Earth that a
We here at
moratorium on
GNN have the technical means to
incursions
block this
be
signal,
implemented as
but in the
soon as
interest
possible.
of bringing you the news as it happens,
wish
we will
no one
continue to
harm.
present it
But for the
alongside
greater
our
good,
legitimate
we assure
transmission.
you that we have made it impossible for Destiny to successfully land. People of Earth, this is our home. Honor it.
President Richardson, what is your response?
We have received threats all along, but I assure you that Destiny will land safely, and that whoever this man is, he will be subject to the communication laws of this country.
So you don't think there is any real threat?
None.
Thank you, Madam President.
We're going now to Houston and Eric Altman for his response to this threat made in the name of his organization. Mr. Altman, were you able to see what we saw, an unidentified man speaking on behalf of your organization?
I was, yes.
And do you and/or NEA accept responsibility?
Responsibility for what?
For using public wavelengths to threaten the Mars landing.
Just one second here. Wait, you seem to be accusing me.
There is chaos here. Police have descended upon the demonstration.
Vicky, what's happening?
Excuse me, Vicky Dipbanner, GNN. Why is this man being arrested? Well, I guess we're going to have to wait until later to find out what this is all about.
Stick with it, Vicky. We're going straight to Destiny.
With more regarding the problems on board.
What do we know?
Software virus.
This can't be a virus. The system's been isolated since manufacture.
We've got an infection.
What can we do about it?
The radar port opening program is inoperable. Now the virus is attacking the navigation and landing control interface. I'm trying to confine the damage.
You gotta do better than try.
Dr. Berlin, what is the significance of these problems?
Well, the radar problem is the worst. Without landing altitude radar, it's just going to be impossible. The new problem, the interference with navigation and auto landing control, is serious, but, well, a seasoned, experienced pilot could land Destiny manually.
How do we know that the rest of the system isn't compromised?
I've run a complete diagnostic on the entire computer system. Everything else checks out.
Time to no return?
No return?
That's the point where gravity and fuel levels make it impossible to return to orbit without landing.
2632 to negative return.
Monsieur Horror, does that give you enough time to solve our problem?
The radar, it's working. If we could deploy it.
Abort mission?
Not yet. There's got to be an operational workaround.
Should he abort the mission?
You don't tell Slader what to do. He's well aware of what's at stake.
Raise pitch attitude 2 degrees on my mark.
Captain, without the radar...
I said raise pitch attitude 2 degrees on my mark, Lieutenant. Mark.
This pitch attitude change is critical. Captain Slader's lost use of the ship's auto-navigational radar, so he's had to take manual control of Destiny.
Scotty, when does this get too risky?
Risk is simply one parameter we factor in at NASA. Now, all missions have problems with machines. That's why we have humans aboard. They're the best, and they'll overcome these difficulties.
Well, as we wait and watch, we have one more perspective on this event. 2 days after Destiny was launched, GNN, in partnership with Dean Rumpelmeyer's IRC, launched its own ship, a satellite cam which is chasing Destiny right now in Martian orbit.
Spectacular pictures, Dean.
Thanks. We're glad we could help GNN bring this to our audience.
Here in Destiny's Science Support section, let's meet some of the technical specialists needed for such a mission. This is Astrotech Susan Lobel from London, England. Susan, what are your responsibilities?
Internal Destiny environment.
Which is?
I monitor and adjust atmospheric gas ratios, temperature, pressure, and I also balance the centrifugal gravity.
During the coast from Earth, the entire Destiny module rotates, providing an artificial gravity. But not like Earth's.
No. During our trip, I've gradually lightened our gravity so that it approaches that of Mars, which is approximately 1/3 that of Earth. So when we step out onto the Martian surface, it won't be such an adjustment.
I understand I'll be able to drive a golf ball a half mile.
If you enjoy that sort of thing.
Grab a seat, Ryan.
Certainly.
Tamara, these jolts we're seeing are the large thrusters being fired. It's the ship's guidance system. Keeps Destiny on course, just normal operating procedure.
Lieutenant Satovoy, what's happening? Ryan West, are you there?
Yes, I'm here in the work area, Tamara. I can't seem to see what's going on in there directly.
We need to get you back to the analysis station.
Not now.
Captain.
Not now. Oh.
Now?
Yeah, now. Stay in the ballpark.
No return in 19 minutes.
In the ballpark.
Ryan West, are you there?
I'm here, Tamara. I think it's best to stay out of the way.
Captain Slader has some sort of problem. Can you help us out?
You probably know more from your end, 6 million miles away, than I do.
Well, now that Lieutenant Satovoy is piloting Destiny alone, let's get to know her better.
I have this dream where I am floating over the moon surface, and I am watching Neil Armstrong as he is coming down from the lunar module. And just as he put his foot on the surface, he looks up at me and he's smiling. And I don't know, it sounds crazy, but I take it as my connection with history, and I will take it with me to Mars.
Born during the communist era in Moscow, Tanya Satovoy has had quite a connection with history. In 1991, she was a member of an elite helicopter unit called on to protect the Russian parliament building the day of the historic coup attempt.
Russia then was chaos. It was chaotic. People found it very difficult to adjust so fast to this new political climate, to this democracy. My family and myself, it was very difficult. I was 22 years old, and it was hard for me.
Tanya pursued her love for astrophysics when she was invited to the United States in 1998 to become the first female test pilot to work on the highly advanced TX-130 aircraft.
I believe it is a fundamental principle to human nature that man must explore. And we go to Mars not because it's easy, but because it is hard. And I think we will find inspiration in the next frontier rather than the next Cold War.
NASA 929 at North Ramp. Taxi for takeoff.
Today, Tanya makes her home in Southern Oregon, where life is lived at a slower pace. Slower, certainly, than the multiple Mach speeds of the crafts that she pilots. Married and the mother of one, the old homestead gives her the quality time she demands with her daughter Stella.
For Stella, I know that she's happy for me. She knows my work, she tells all her friends about my work, how important it is. Who knows? One day we will have a chance to travel to Mars together. But for now, she will travel there, but right here. In my heart.
Tanya Sadavoy has been training for this historic Mars mission her entire life. And as she pilots Destiny onto the Martian soil, there's a good chance Neil Armstrong will be smiling at her once again for a job well done.
We're back with live coverage of the Destiny mission. We're still seeing a problem with the navigation numbers for Radar Y. Gentlemen, I don't mean to sound alarmist, but aren't these radar numbers a source of very real concern?
Well, frankly, I'm more concerned about Captain Slader's medical condition. He seems to be suffering from some kind of reaction.
Well, fortunately, the captain has state-of-the-art medical technology available to him.
What about the radar problem?
It's a tough one, but these are tough people on board. They'll resolve it.
What about this no return? How does that affect your thinking, Dr. Berlin?
Well, Destiny has almost half an hour before they reach this point. Anytime up until then, they can abort the landing and rendezvous with the transfer stage. It's still in Trans-Mars orbit.
Who would make that decision?
Captain Slader. But like the rest of us, he wants more than anything to land successfully on Mars. If that's at all possible, I'm sure he'll take Destiny past no return.
This is live. Stay with us. Situation as of now. Destiny, with approximately an hour until scheduled touchdown, has run into some last-minute problems. The radar necessary for landing is out. Captain Slader has been taken to sickbay with an unspecified medical problem, and now time is becoming crucial. Gentlemen, we've got a dramatic situation unfolding. Scotty Berlin, your thoughts on all of this?
Well, Tamara, every launch, every landing is dramatic to your viewers, but the situation aboard Destiny is that the crew's job is to get the information and solve the problem.
But if the problems aboard Destiny involve sabotage, wouldn't that be unique in the space program?
No one's sure it's sabotage.
Let me ask you, Mr. Rumpelmeyer, what are your thoughts on the NEA threat?
Well, I think the problems we're seeing are simply the problems of an incredibly complex machine.
We're going to be listening to the live consultation feed between Dr. Lin Yo-Yu aboard Destiny and Scotty Berlin at his office in Houston's Mission Control. Dr. Lin Yo-Yu is China's foremost microbiologist and general internist. She's married to a Hong Kong bond salesman who, ironically, refuses to fly.
Captain Slader's condition is serious but stable. It is not, however, due to organic causes.
Psychosomatic?
No, it's very real. Microscopic tissue scans show his nervous system has been invaded by nanotech devices. They are systematically disassembling the neurons along the pathways to his brain.
I see. Doctor, we'll leave it to you and Lieutenant Sadavoy to decide if and when he's physiologically incapable of command.
Right.
Dr. Berlin, nanotech devices, could you explain?
I'll try. Nanotech devices are molecule-sized machines. They can perform simple mechanical tasks, usually disassembling or assembling molecules. But we've never seen them in a human system before. Now, we know from animal tests that they destroy tissue, something like cancer, but much quicker.
So Captain Slader is...
Being attacked from within.
By machines?
Yes. We have the unprecedented situation of a man being infected by machines, yes.
And in essence, the computers are machines which are being infected by man.
You could say that. In any case, it's deliberate. Deliberate sabotage.
Even though they are millions of miles away, the Destiny crew is tapping into our GNN feed to find out more about the condition of their captain. Truly a technological miracle.
In the event that Captain Slader is unable to resume his duties, and I don't mean to suggest that he won't, but in that event, Lieutenant Satterboy would take command, am I right?
That's correct.
Scotty, sorry to interrupt, but we're switching to feed 8 for a briefing from NASA.
We're being briefed by NASA about some sort of message found in the virus placed in Destiny's computer. Let's listen.
This is raw computer data from Destiny. You'll notice the double-matched sequencing, a coded message.
Can you break the code, and how long will it take?
We already have. Whoever put the virus in the program also included this code, which made it easy for us to break.
Why?
Why? It's an ultimatum. Whoever programmed the virus wanted us to be sure to take them seriously.
What do you mean by an ultimatum?
Allow me. I quote, "Activation of this virus resulted from near-Mars recognition commands aboard spaceship Destiny. This virus has identified itself to allow a sufficient time frame for Destiny to abort the mission and return safely. However, the virus will prevent any attempt to land on Mars." Basically, if Destiny doesn't turn back quickly, the infection will cause it to crash.
Who's it from?
I think we'd like to know that at least as much as you do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have time for now. Thank you very much.
Mr. Altman.
Yes, yeah, I can hear you, yes.
Is this your virus?
Absolutely not. Native Earth Alliance is nonviolent.
What about your on-air threat just a minute ago?
It was not my threat.
I believe the person identified himself as speaking for the NEA, and I believe that was your flag behind him.
I have no knowledge of this person. Our flag is sold in eco-stores everywhere.
So, you don't accept responsibility?
Oh, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for speaking out as vigorously as I can against Destiny and its misguided supporters. This mission is dangerous and it is useless. It is a waste of billions of dollars of public money.
And is it wasted money that we at IRC donate to support your organization?
Is that true, Mr. Altman? IRC supports you?
Our funding does indeed come from tax-sheltered foundations such as IRC's, yes.
Mr. Rumpelmeyer, why would your company back a group that actively opposes you?
Because he knows we also oppose his competitors at XI Arbin. When IRC lost out on the contract, Mr. Rumpelmeyer was probably happy with anyone who criticized this mission.
Our company is dedicated to environmental responsibility, and we will support any organization that shares those goals. Now, I don't expect...
I don't expect to be arrested for speaking out. This is still America, is it not?
Gentlemen, we're going live to Destiny.
You're all aware of our computer situation. Nevertheless, I've decided to continue the mission.
But the computer advises termination.
So it does, but I'm not sure we can trust the computer.
Can't land this bird safely without the radar.
That's right, but you're assuming the only way to fix the radar is through its software.
So what you're saying is...
Someone has to open the port manually.
EVA?
EVA, extravehicular activity, a spacewalk.
I know you're thinking there isn't enough time. Maybe, maybe not. So I'm asking for volunteers. Only 2.
Charlie and me.
It's got to be the 2 of us, Jane. I mean, whatever happens, it should be the 2 of us.
Suit up.
Back to you, Tamara.
Dr. Berlin, is this a good idea?
Well, Slader's still in charge, and if they're not going to turn back...
Can they succeed?
This close to the planet, they have to try and free the port. But they've got to get back in very, very quickly.
And if they don't?
At the speed Destiny's traveling, the Martian atmosphere, though very, very thin, could incinerate them.
As head of NASA, will you try to override Captain Slader's decision?
No.
Will you try to influence that decision?
We still have some time.
While we're waiting for more information, let's get to know Susan LaBelle a little better.
Astrotech Susan LaBelle is just as comfortable hanging on the side of a mountain as she is working in a cramped spacecraft. She combines the love of science with the love of the outdoors. Born in London, England, she was educated at Oxford and MIT. Quite an accomplishment for a woman who is more at home running trails than running computer programs. LaBelle credits the success she's had to a very active metabolic system.
I'm a hyper person. I really need only 4 hours of sleep per night. If you add it up over the course of a lifetime, an average person needs about 219,000 hours. I need half of that, so I feel fortunate to have an extra 100,000 hours to devote to my work and my interests.
LaBelle's energy level is always at full throttle. Competing in the world's ultimate endurance race, the Teleplay, she was captain of Team England, which won the grueling contest 6 years in a row. Susan was selected for the Destiny mission due to her incredible physical condition. She set a number of endurance records at the NASA Training Center and was singled out for her mental toughness. Having lost her mother at age 10, Susan and her father have made quite a team over the years. Now, as she reaches for her dream to make history on Mars, you can be assured her father and mother will be there in spirit.
When we found out that I was selected, my father gave me this. It belonged to my mother. She told him to give it to me when the time was right. The inscription says, "To my Susie, may you always reach for the stars."
We certainly hope Susan's got that lucky charm with her as she prepares for this unplanned and potentially dangerous repair operation outside the ship. The outcome of the Destiny mission literally hangs in the balance. Perhaps we should ask you, the viewers, what would you do? Our question: should Destiny proceed with its historic landing on Mars despite its ongoing problems? It's a close one, but the majority think they should continue. Would that influence your decision, Dr. Berlin?
No, not at all.
Dr. Itzio, from what we're getting from our studios, it appears the problem is sabotage.
I don't know how. Destiny's computers have been isolated and protected since the first transistor was fabricated.
You seem to be contradicting yourself.
No, not at all. I simply said it is impossible for the system to have been infected prior to liftoff.
And after liftoff? How could that happen?
Only one way. The saboteur is aboard. One of us is responsible.
Well, that would be suicidal.
Indeed.
Nick? Tamara?
Yes, Ryan.
We're in trouble.
Stay with us, Ryan. We're working on it.
After a quick break, we'll be right back.
We're back with more of GNN's special report, Journey to Mars. This is a live shot of Destiny. In just moments, astronauts Downing and LaBelle will exit the module for an unexpected and dangerous spacewalk. They will be attempting to free open the radar port.
Susan and Charlie are using an emergency procedure for venting the airlock quickly. As they decompress, they're feeling a lot of physical changes. Now, the light will turn red when the airlock is evacuated. There.
How are you doing?
All right. I have a lot of faith in the team.
Me too.
Nick, Tamara, just a little human interest note about the two astronauts about to EVA. Susan and Charlie are, well, they're in love. Maybe it was the moon as we went past. Maybe it was all the stars, whatever. But just days ago, Charlie asked Susan to marry him.
Well, that's great. What did she say?
She said, yes.
Roger. Outer airlock door open. Let's do it.
Roger. I'll follow your lead.
Downing to Savoy. Airlock is evacuated. I have visual contact with Plus Z panel.
Roger, we have you confirmed on SATCAM 3. Good luck.
They're out.
How much time do they have?
10 minutes. These are great pictures, Tamara.
God, Charlie, look.
Susan, cross over my tether to get in a forward position.
Roger. Coming forward.
Susan and Charlie are moving along the landing module to the radar port. Now, once there, they'll attempt to manually bypass the computer so that the radar port will open automatically.
Start with the centrifugal wrench.
Need a lever point.
This is the best I can do.
Now, once the cover is off the control box, you'll have to go in very, very gently. Install a jumper cable.
For our audience, we've started another clock. This is the countdown to atmospheric encounter. If the two astronauts are not safely back inside before they enter the Martian atmosphere...
They'll make it. They'll make it. Now, the cover of the control box is open, so Lobel will try to install a jumper. Now, this jumper will bypass the computer-controlled circuit that's keeping the radar from deploying. This is a tricky operation on the ground, but in space, those bulky gloves on, it borders on the impossible.
I can't get in. There's not enough room.
Try another angle.
Time frame.
A little over 7 minutes.
As you can see, they're struggling with weightlessness. Simple things like maintaining pressure on a connector become a real challenge.
Cross-connect A7 and F4 with red. Neither are hot.
Roger. Red shunts A7 and F4.
Since this delicate operation is expected to take 3 or 4 more minutes, joining us live from the White House is Amanda Whitney, spokesperson for President Richardson. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Nick. Hi, guys. President Richardson hopes you'll understand she has to monitor the situation closely or she'd be with you herself.
Amanda, as this drama continues live, what's the thinking at the White House, especially if Destiny doesn't make it?
We have great confidence, not only in the team assembled aboard Destiny, but also in the combined government-industrial alliance behind Destiny.
But if it fails, many believe the presidency, even the government itself, would fail. With so many of our financial resources committed, our economy, indeed the world economy, is threatened.
No one event, no one person is so important that it can derail a global endeavor such as this.
Does that mean the president is backing away from this potential disaster?
Quite the contrary. She's been very upfront about the potential dangers of such a mission.
That's not quite the same as staking her presidency on the mission's outcome.
Well, that would be foolish, wouldn't it?
Let's ask our viewers. The new question is, given the resources, both political and financial, President Richardson has committed to Destiny, should she resign if it fails? Looks like the public's going to hold President Richardson responsible.
The public should also understand the need for a stable government. In the unlikely event of failure, I would advise calm and reason.
As we close in on Mars, it's now 4 minutes till atmosphere encounter. A brief eternity.
Here in Destiny Medbay, Captain Slader is conducting a crisis management assessment. If Charlie and Susan can fix the radar, and we'll know that in just minutes, we're still left with the auto-navigational problem. Theoretically, Destiny can be flown manually, but it would be very difficult indeed. What they're discussing behind me is whether Captain Slader is physically and mentally able to lead the remainder of the mission. With his progressive loss of memory,
Charlie and Susan should never have gone outside. They should be brought back in and the mission aborted.
Well, you're forgetting a couple of things. Aborting would mean attempting a return to the transfer stage, which is an equally hazardous maneuver.
And?
And I'm the commander.
What about the auto-navigation failure?
You said it was contained.
Yes, contained, but not corrected.
So once we've determined the success or failure of the EVA, we'll have enough information to make a decision.
But even if they do fix the radar, landing will still be almost impossible.
Almost.
This is crazy.
This is why we're here. Report to your post.
The stress level here is extremely high.
The test results indicate the nanotech.
Captain Slader is consulting with Dr. Lin Yo-Yu.
The metabolic suppressor I gave you has slowed the spread of machines in your system, but there's a chance that we can fight the nanotech devices like a virus. Load your body with lymphostimulants to accelerate the immune response.
What if it doesn't work?
There is a chance that your immune system could become permanently damaged, and the nerve damage would continue. It could spread to the frontal cortex of your brain within minutes.
What are the odds?
Don't ask me that.
Go ahead, do it. Lynn.
Yes?
You have to tell me.
What?
When my judgment becomes affected.
Yes, and Lieutenant Sadavoy.
Of course.
Gentlemen, what are they talking about?
Lieutenant Sadavoy will make the ultimate decision as to whether or not Slater's capable of continuing to lead the mission.
The outcome of the mission could turn on that one decision. That would be an extraordinarily difficult position to be in.
Yes, it would.
Charlie and Susan are still outside working on that radar port. Aren't they cutting it a little close?
Well, there's still 2.5 minutes remaining.
Outside Destiny, only moments remain for the safe return of the astronauts to their craft. Since this is live, and we have a potentially fatal situation, we will interrupt the feed if it becomes clear that the image is unsuitable for viewing.
How you doing?
I have the connectors all lined up. Here goes.
The radar port is open. Susan and Charlie deserve a round of applause right now.
Right.
Close her up. Let's go.
This was a great piece of work, but now they've got to get back into the airlock. Molecular carbon dioxide in the upper Martian atmosphere is already beginning to build up, and in a few minutes they'll be in an area of maximum atmospheric heating.
Time to go. Come on, Susan. Downing to Sadavoy. We have a clean repair.
We have joy that the stream is clean.
Prepare for auto airlock lockdown and emergency repress on my mark.
Roger.
Susan, now. Hurry up, we've got the 1-minute warning.
Something snagged. Clear the door for me.
Hurry!
I can't. It won't give.
Your tool bag!
Whoa! That's unbelievable. Telemetry tells us we've got radar back.
All right.
With the radar problem fixed, Destiny is now closer to Mars than ever. We go live now to Mr. Eric Altman, head of Native Earth Alliance, who wants
We
to
have
make
just uncovered evidence of a conspiracy that could lead to the death of the Destiny crew. I have in my possession copies of several corporate communications which suggest a high-level conspiracy to sabotage
Excuse
this
me,
Destiny
Mr.
mission.
Altman, but we have just witnessed a fantastic bit of heroism from our astronauts. And to cheapen this accomplishment with some crackpot theory.
No theories, Mr. Rumpelmeyer. Hard copy transcripts of security-coded intercorporate memos complete with code numbers as follows.
You realize, Mr. Altman, that reading such numbers is potentially criminal. You'd be subject to arrest and prosecution.
This memo and others lays out a conspiracy to keep Destiny from landing and thus destroys
As I
the
recall,
integrity.
Mr. Altman, you were the one who didn't want to see Destiny land.
I didn't want Destiny to take off in the first place, sir, but I wasn't willing to risk lives in order to achieve that.
You know, if GNN allows him to broadcast privileged documents without legal authorization, you could be liable.
Gentlemen, while our lawyers straighten matters out, we have an update on Captain Slader's condition.
Tamara? Nick?
Go ahead, Ryan.
Captain Slader has just been escorted from medbay back to his command position. Dr. Yu, how's he doing?
He is suffering progressive nerve damage. Lieutenant Sadavoy will have to physically fly Destiny. Captain Slader has lost the use of his left arm and is partially blind in his left eye, but he remains in command until Lieutenant Sadavoy makes a determination that his judgment has been impaired.
And then what?
She would have to relieve him of command, and it would fall to her to bring us in safely.
Can she?
We're all going to do our best, right?
How's it going here, Doctor?
The radar seems to have run its course.
Dr. Isiahoro, if I might, Tamara O'Neill at GNN, any ideas who might be behind this apparent coordinated sabotage of Destiny?
My job isn't to speculate. Frankly, we just want to land this thing.
But one of you...
He's a saboteur? Apparently.
Who?
I repeat, I don't speculate, except to say whoever it is will die with the rest of us if we're not successful.
We'll be back.
Destination Mars. Another stunning shot from the external cameras of the landing module.
Nearly 4 billion people, over half of all the people alive on this planet, are seeing what you are with us.
Excuse me, Tamara. These pictures we're seeing right now are of Destiny's heat shield. It means the spacecraft is beginning to pierce the Martian atmosphere. The temperature of that shield right now is around 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Have we passed entry interface?
Yes, at 130 kilometers.
Flight path angle check?
Negative 11 degrees.
Roger that.
Scotty Berlin, we've got controversy. We've got technical problems. Why don't we cut through all that and remind our viewers exactly what this mission is all about?
Well, it's about science, it's about vision, certainly about bravery.
I mean more specifically.
Well, we're going to a new planet, Nick. We're going to see if we can live there. We're going to find out if anything has ever lived there.
Dr. Berlin, we'd like to give our viewers as much as possible the experience of the landing. Could you tell us what to expect?
Well, if everything goes as planned, Destiny will sweep in low over a range of mountains, the Elysium Mons. Very delicate maneuver. Now, once clear of those mountains, a series of braking maneuvers will bring Destiny down to within 1,000 meters of the surface. Terrain mapping radar will show the astronauts their position. The landing site is a plateau between two deep canyons. Destiny will have to make very sure it's clear of those canyons before final descent to touchdown.
Sounds a little nervous-making to me.
We've never landed anything this size before. But
Gentlemen, excuse me, we have a breaking story. We go live now to the White House.
Good afternoon. I have a statement. Acting on information developed through national security resources, the White House has been made aware of a conspiracy to sabotage Destiny. While I'm not at liberty to reveal the exact nature of those resources, suffice it to say, in the last 20 minutes, warrants have been issued and arrests are currently being made. I'll take just a few quick questions.
Amanda, who sabotaged Destiny? How did this virus get into the software?
We still don't know precisely how the software virus was transmitted into Destiny's computers. The nanotech machines were apparently administered to Captain Slader some months before launch.
How?
During a routine physical.
Where? By whom?
Arrests have been made at the Ledford, Virginia facility where all the astronauts were prepped and monitored during flight training.
So it's your understanding that it's people in the government?
Do your homework. Ledford has been a private organization for some years now. The contract... I've been advised to remain general in my comments for legal reasons. That'll be all, ladies and gentlemen, except for this statement from the President. All of us should pray in the next few minutes, in whatever way is customary, for the safe landing of Destiny. But whatever the outcome, we must remain calm. We must remember our nation, its stability, is at stake. Thank you.
Flight path angle check.
Negative 12 degrees to velocity vector.
Entry interface?
It occurred at 130 kilometers altitude. Who is Jason?
My son.
How old is he?
12. Switch to minimum G-load guidance.
Copy. Minimum G profile.
Why the question about Slader's son?
She's checking on his mental function. Memory's an important indicator.
Scotty, what's going on?
Right now, we're coming to the most critical phase of the descent. As you can see, the crew's buttoning down their work areas. They're preparing to jettison the heat shield. The captain will ignite Destiny's engines. They'll be brought down to a soft landing on Mars.
Waiting for your mark to jettison the heat shield.
13.
Excuse me, Captain?
I've forgotten the name of the team in Houston.
What team?
Oilers, Astro's rockets.
You have to make a decision, Captain. We are coming in low. Should we redesignate the target?
Command redesignation downrange 10 kilometers.
That brings us in pretty low over Elysium Mons.
8 kilometers.
Captain seems unsure.
He's in pain. Right now, he's in charge.
Coming up on heat shield jettison, waiting for your mark.
Mark.
Destiny has entered the Martian atmosphere and begun to decelerate. We see them now jettisoning the heat shield. This will make it possible for the craft to extend its landing pads. Destiny is now approximately 16 minutes from touchdown.
Shield is clear. Go to initiate powered descent.
For our viewers, excuse me. Yes, thanks. No, this is incredible. We have Mr. Altman back. Mr. Altman, what's going on?
You tell me.
We have the arrest of the man who interrupted our broadcast with the NEA message.
He was not part of our organization.
Yes, he was an employee of a French metallurgy consortium, Delamere.
Excuse me. We have word that federal agents have sealed off the Ledford facility where the nanotech infection is thought to have originated.
We're live here again. Mr. Rumpelmeyer, I need to ask you one question. Is it true that your company, IRC, owns Ledford Research?
I believe Ledford Research is owned by the French company Delamere.
Yes, but isn't Delamere a subsidiary of IRC as well? Mr. Rumpelmeyer.
Excuse me. We have just received information that confirms what we've suspected all along. It is a report of Mr. Rumpelmeyer's secret meeting with Antoine Dar.
The head of the ultra-fascist Euro 2 party?
This is preposterous.
Preposterous. This information comes to us from a source within the foreign intelligence community who clearly recognizes the grave threats posed to the world by this unholy alliance.
Mr. Altman, why would a foreign intelligence agency supply you with that kind of document instead of the proper authorities?
Well, that's simple, because of you. This now happening on live TV. Billions of people are watching, but it has obviously also gone to the proper authorities. That is why the FBI is sealing off Ledford Research as we speak.
Well, this is slander of the worst kind.
Mr. Rumpelmeyer, you'll have your chance to respond.
Slander. IRC has organized a conspiracy of transnational corporations and fascist political groups in an attempt to sabotage the Destiny mission, and they tried to pin it all on us, the NEA. IRC planted the so-called NEA spokesman. They infected Captain Slader. They sabotaged Destiny itself.
These are very serious allegations, which we remind our audience are unsubstantiated.
Well, I can't sit here and listen to these ridiculous lies. What possible motive would IRC have to engage in what amounts to treason?
The motive is survival. After losing out on the multi-billion-dollar Destiny contracts, IRC faces bankruptcy, corporate death. Your only hope, sir, is for Destiny to fail, causing President Richardson's government to collapse, the whole international alliance to disintegrate.
Are you going to take this man off the air, or are you going to deal with our attorneys?
You'll have your chance to respond, Mr. Rumpelmeyer.
It's insane to think that we would promote disaster. What's bad for America is bad for IRC.
Apparently, the FBI thinks there's substance to these charges. Are the allegations true? Mr. Rumpelmeyer.
I have nothing more to say at this time. Speak to my attorney.
Mr. Rumpelmeyer.
We're very close now, Nick and Tamara. We're almost there.
We would like to reiterate that no matter what the outcome of this mission, viewers should remain calm. We have reassurances from the White House that order will be maintained. After this break, we'll be continuing with live coverage.
We are nearing the climactic moments of GNN's special report, Journey to Mars. What you're seeing is what the pilot is seeing.
Landing pads down and locked.
Contact probe deployed.
Air data probes deployed. Landing radar active.
Engine gimbals locked. 4 engines all green, burning at 100%.
Scotty Berlin, as we watch the landing module speeding across Mars, what's going through the astronauts' minds at this moment?
Well, right now, Tamara, they're just concentrating on their responsibilities. They know after they land, there'll be plenty of time to reflect on the accomplishment. They're scheduled to be on Mars for a year and a half, you know.
Now that we know that Captain Slader was injected with nanotech machines at IRC in Ledford, does that mean that there is not a saboteur aboard Destiny?
Well, we still don't know where the radar virus originated. Now, without pointing any fingers or causing any hostility among the crew, I have to say I can't think of any other explanation except that someone aboard is responsible.
The sad thing is, Doctor, that even in the remotest frontiers of science, you can't get away from politics.
Ryan, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Any speculation among you all up there as to the source of the virus?
We can't figure it out. Dr. Isiohoro, any ideas?
There was simply no access. The programming was discreet. All of it was done at NASA in Seattle, a totally secure facility. Where was that program?
This? Oh my God. Guys, I'm not sure, but this might...
Who programmed it?
I don't know. They gave it to me. It was kind of a promotional consideration. It was programmed when I got it.
Who?
The Consumer Communications Division of IRC. Guys, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Ryan, just hold tight there. You're getting close now. Scotty, Captain Slader, can he land Destiny safely?
Without auto guidance, he's pretty much flying by the seat of his pants. And at a current ground speed of 1,300 meters per second, that's not an easy task. He has to factor in slower human response time. But if he can clear the mountains, they'll have a chance.
Downrange 8 kilometers seems short. Captain?
8 kilometers.
Downrange Doppler returns don't agree.
8.
Yes, sir.
I'm Slader?
Yes, sir.
I'm Slader.
8, sir.
8.
You agree with Slader's trajectory?
It seems short, but I'm not there. We'll know in a few seconds.
Downrange redesignate 8 kilometers.
Sir, look at the predictor.
Execute the command.
Houston Control, I am instituting a command transfer under the diminished capacities rule of procedure.
I said execute.
Downrange redesignation is wrong. We are deviating from the ground track.
What's going on?
She's taking over.
Can she?
Yes, it's her call.
Execute.
You are relieved of command, sir. It's your horror. Redesignate downrange, 10 kilometers. Cross range plus 2 kilometers.
Lieutenant.
On my mark. Mark.
Oh my.
Was that luck or what?
Actually, it was Lieutenant Sadavoy.
Coming up on pitch over.
I think we're 2 kilometers off the target point.
Altitude 4,200 meters. Downrange velocity 380 meters per second.
You're right. You're right.
I have to do this, sir. You understand?
Just like training, Lieutenant.
In approximately 1 minute, they should be over the Elysian Chasm. Deeper than the Grand Canyon. Should be spectacular. When they reach the far rim, they'll be rotating Destiny to landing attitude. In conventional flying terms, they'll be at stall speed right over the canyon.
Explain.
Too slow, they fall in.
Ground speed?
120 meters per second. Everything is go.
they going to make it?
Come on.
Are we all right?
We're close. 30 seconds.
Oh my God.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. They've just rotated Destiny for the final descent attitude.
I'm taking over manual control. Nulling cross-range velocity. Left 1. 170 meters. One more. 130 meters. Straight down.
This is no piece of cake. Landing Destiny is the equivalent of landing a 4-story building.
90 meters down at 16. 60 meters down at 13. 30 meters down at 10. Lots of dust. 10 down at 4. 5 at 2. Contact. Engines off.
Thanks, and you were a big help, my friend.
You look great. You look terrific.
Elysium Base. Destiny has landed. Actually, right down the button.
We've made history, Lieutenant.
Yes, we have. I'm returning your command to you, sir.
Accepted.
As I understand, they'll be going outside immediately. This is something that mankind has dreamed of since first staring into the blackness of the night sky at those remote points of light that seem so impossible to reach, so inaccessible to touch, but no longer. We are just moments away from watching the first human footprints being made on another planet. Scotty, congratulations.
Well, we're all to be congratulated on this one, Nick and Tamara.
Have they told you who will actually be the first person on Mars?
No, that's the commander's call. We'll know in just a moment. These pictures are coming to us from a robotic rover which we sent to this site months ago. Now, its navigation beacon and camera have locked onto the lander, and we're getting some great shots here. Sadavoy was right when she said that they hit this landing site right on the button.
Ryan West? Ryan!
I'm here. I'm here.
How does it feel?
It feels like... I'm just very, very happy at this moment.
Excuse me, Ryan. We have the door open. We're about to see...
Who is it?
I can't tell yet. It's, wait. The stripes. It's Lieutenant Sadavoy.
Lieutenant Sadavoy. Lieutenant Sadavoy is the first person on Mars. is! The first footprint on Mars. Nick, this is just incredible.
Well, Tamara, as we all know, this barren, hostile planet will be home for the Destiny crew over the next 18 months. They're scheduled to explore an area about the size of Texas, where scientists feel they'll have the best chance of finding signs of life.
Destiny is to be congratulated, especially Lieutenant Savoy. She did a great job, a magnificent job of avoiding that outcropping of rocks over there, probably not more than 100 meters from where Destiny has touched down.
Look at the landscape. It looks oddly familiar, like the Southwest desert, but the sky, it's pink.
It is pink. The color comes from the red dust suspended in the thin atmosphere.
Look how really red the rocks are, Nick. Lieutenant Savoy, congratulations. Do you have any words for our worldwide audience?
What can I say? We're not in Kansas anymore.
I guess not.
Lieutenant Savoy, stand by for the President of the United States.
On behalf of the United States and the 27 other nations in the Alliance participating in the Destiny mission, we wish to congratulate you, Lieutenant, and the entire crew on a job well done.
I am deeply honored, Madam President. I accept your congratulations on behalf of the rest of our crew. And as you know, this will be our home for a long while.
We look forward to many new discoveries which will benefit all mankind.
Wait. Stand by.
What is it, Lieutenant?
We've lost Savoy's feed. Switches to Destiny. There is no feed from Destiny. None. We have lost communication with Destiny. We are trying now to reestablish it. Destiny. Can you read us here? Destiny. Destiny.